This is Tyler Janet's video homework 3, Physics 221 with Professor Rembold. The objective for this assignment states that I can predict the future motion of an object which is experiencing normal and frictional forces and probably other forces as well. So to solve this objective, the question that I came up with states, suppose the octagon portion of a stop sign is blown up against a sturdy wooden wall during a hurricane-like event. The wind has a horizontal force of 315.00 newtons and the coefficient of static friction between the stop sign and the wall is approximately 2.5. The stop sign, however, weighs a whopping 100 kilograms. As you can tell, this is not your average stop sign. Does the sign slide down the wall or not? So to answer this question, first step we need to take is to draw a free body diagram exhibiting all the forces that are on our object of interest, which is the sign. And as you can see here in the x direction, we have the force of wind and the normal force that the wall is exerting back on the stop sign cancels out here, and then we have the force of gravity and the force of friction in the y directions, which is what we need to determine in order to find out if the stop sign is going to slide down the wall or not. So first step here is to calculate the force of friction, and the force of friction is less than or equal to the coefficient of static friction times the normal force. And as we know, since the stop sign is not moving in the x direction, we know that the net force in the x direction equals the F of wind minus the normal force. So in other words, the force of wind equals the normal force, so the force of friction is less than or equal to 2.5 times 315 newtons to give us a value that is less than or equal to 787.5 newtons for our friction force. Now we go down to when we calculate our force of gravity, and the force of gravity on Earth's surface is just simply mass times gravity, which is 100 kilograms as given by the weight of the stop sign, times 9.8, which is the force of gravity, and that gives us a answer of 980 newtons. So obviously 980 newtons is greater than 787.5 newtons. So when we compare the gravity force and the friction force, the force of gravity is greater, and therefore, yes, the object will indeed slide down the wall. And this again satisfies the objective, stating that I can predict the future motion of an object which is experiencing normal and frictional forces and probably other forces as well. Once again, this is Tyler Janet's video homework 3, Professor Rembold, Physics 221.